Well, that was a fun week. It's been a week, you know.
It looks like I have a problem.
We kind of do have a problem. A problem with the
Too many Cowboys and Aliens.
boom.
Are you recording?
Yes.
Oh. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
Pew, 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 pew. Actually, there's not a lot of pews in this movie. But hey, everybody.
No, there's not pews. There's a lot of just explosions.
And Daniel Craig looking confused.
Well, real quick, how's everybody doing?
Yeah, I hope everybody's enjoying their time
Happy Friday.
during the June months. We are at the end of our summer flopbusters. The flops of the summers.
With cowboy themes. My idea.
I think it just kind of came out of nowhere, though.
Well, because you had Wild West, and then I was like,
Yeah,
what
Wild-
if we keep with the cowboy theme?
And it was like, yeah, well, this was another summer blockbuster flop. And just so if everybody haven't caught on, today we are reviewing Cowboys and Aliens. And, oh my God, I'm kind of doing it again.
Are you serious?
I have them up on my computer. But no, I have it over here. God damn it!
Yeah, Cowboys and Aliens released July 29th, 2011.
That's Wild West. Wrong notes. There we go. Yeah. July 29th. It has a 6.0 on IMDb, which I was actually expecting it to be lower. So everybody knows, I had not seen this movie going into it.
And I only saw it when it was released 10 years ago.
And I had heard such kind of negative, I guess I didn't really hear anything negative about it. I didn't just hear anything about it. I feel like it just kind of fell onto the wayside.
I mean, everything you need to know about it is in the title.
Yeah, that's actually how I begin my fucking review.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I thought it. I mean, I was surprised to see a 6.0. I was like, I feel there is probably people out there like Cowboys and Aliens, like one of the greatest underground aliens movies of all time.
I don't think it's the greatest. I think it's one of people that people forget about. I think it's a super enjoyable alien movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun.
Box office wise, domestically it hit number 30, and worldwide it hit number 42. So yeah, this was 2011. So to give you an idea, top 5 domestic for of the year where it was Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 2, Transformers, Dark Side of the is it Dark of the Moon?
Dark Side of the Moon?
No, it's Dark of the Moon. It says right there, Dark of the Moon.
It does.
Yeah, look at that.
Did we just put the Dark Side in there?
I think we're just thinking Pink Floyd.
Oh. Which one is that?
Dark of the Moon? It's the one with...
Is that the third one? It's the third one.
I want to say it's the third one,
It's
yeah.
the third one.
But I'm trying to remember who... It's because Megatron isn't really the bad guy.
It's the old... It's like Megatron's master, his mentor.
Yeah, why am I forgetting his name?
Dude,
anywho.
Do you want to just start from beginning to end with those again at some point? That'd be fun to do.
I'd be down for that. I actually know. I personally really, really like... I mean, I fucking love Transformers, but I don't really mind the movies that much. They're very much Michael Bay. But I don't know, because I actually dude, when Optimus Prime dies in the second one, I cry still.
Because I don't think I've seen any after this one.
There's only 2 more, if I remember correctly. The last one is The Last Night or something.
And the one before that's Extinction, where they bring in the Beast Transformers, which I don't know why I didn't jump, because that was my favorite.
Or the dinosaur ones?
Yeah, that was my favorite Transformers, because, I mean, if you listen to this, I don't think you're surprised by that. Dinosaur robots? Fuck yeah!
That was one of my first Transformers toys was the actual Tyrannosaurus Rex Transformer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Mine was the Planet Eater, whatever his name was. He was the size of a planet.
Yeah.
Can't remember what his name was.
I'm pretty sure that's the bad guy in Dark of the Moon.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so number 3 was Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1. That's weird. That's the beginning of the end for Twilight, right?
Yeah, it's the last. No, wait. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that means Harry Potter is just ending, and Twilight is about to end.
Hangover Part 2, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides.
This is the one with Penelope Cruz. Oh wait, no. Yes.
Yeah, this is with Blackbeard.
Yes,
is the bad guy.
Yeah. This is one that we couldn't remember the fucking name. Or did we think this was the name of the third one?
Oh right, I forgot we did that because there's Black Pearl.
Dead
Men Tell No Tales.
No, that's the last one.
Oh.
The Dead Man's Chest.
Oh yeah, the Dead Man's Chest. Is it? Let me just click it. Hold on, everybody. Let's figure this out once and for all.
Oh yeah. No, because this is definitely
Jack Sparrow and Barbossa embark on the quest to find an elusive fountain.
Yeah, no, this is the one with Blackbeard.
Yeah, okay, cool. So this is the fourth one.
Yeah, that's the fourth one.
What the fuck is the third one called?
When that's there, yeah, because you know what?
World's End.
At World's End.
At World's End. Okay,
and then the last one is Dead Men Tell No Tales. I kind of like that name. I just like how that rolls off the tip of your tongue. You know, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
It just makes me think of the Muppet Treasure Island. There's like where they're Dead Men Tell No Tales. There's like a song with it.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's like a whole song with it.
That's cool.
Hangover 2 on Treasure Tides. This was kind of just a year of a lot of sequels. Fast 5,
Kinda.
Cars 2, Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Thor came out. X-Men First Class. Like Captain America First. I mean, this is when like the MCU was actually kind of starting to like really begin. You know?
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes 2. Oh, interesting. Green Lantern came out in 2011. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Bad Teacher. Just watched that today. Actually.
That's a fun movie.
But
yeah. So that gives you kind of like an idea of like this year.
Yeah,
you know?
like where it
we're
lands.
2011. I don't know how old you were then. I was.
It's 10 years.
Thank you.
It's 10 years.
I was 24.
It's 10 years ago.
24, 23, 24. You just got to subtract 10.
I was going to say I was 28. No, that's all right. And just going back with the box office budget thing. So this budget for this film was about $163 million. Domestically grossed $100 million. And then internationally, barely saving it, $174 million.
Yeah, so this was a commercial failure.
They got real lucky and broke even at all. Like they were $63 million in the hole, and then they got up like $11 million.
It's like, what does it say here on Wikipedia? It's like it premiered at the 2011 San Diego Comic-Con. Mistake.
Why?
I just feel like because it we'll get into it where how it's like it's based off a comic, but it has like if people you know people are like fans of that graphic novel watch this movie, they're probably like,
what the hell did you do?
What the hell did you do? Yeah. Film was considered to be a financial disappointment. Yeah, what you just said, taking $174.8 million in the box office, receipts, blah, 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 yeah. Cowboys and Aliens received mixed reviews, with critics generally praising its acting while criticizing other aspects, which, no, there's a Harrison Ford made me almost tear up a couple times in this movie. Like the whole father-son relationship shit. Just like, that always gets me. But like how it's like, I don't know the characters' names at all.
Oh, here. This is the one time.
Also, this movie has a crazy, weird cast that...
Do you want to start with the cast, or you want to do director?
Let's do director, but I just want to... let's back up. It's like it's going to be hard to follow it in this, I think. I think I can figure it out, but yeah.
Directed by...
Jon
Favreau.
Jon Favreau.
We just looked it up and I totally blanked.
Jon Favreau.
Who directed such things as Elf, Zathura, Iron Man 1 and 2, Chef, Jungle Book, he directed a Jungle Book, but it wasn't like the really big mainstream one you saw with like Scarlett Johansson as, what's her name? The snake.
What are you talking about?
A couple Jungle Books came out, live action ones.
Yeah,
he did one, and then another one came out.
He did the first... No. He did... Okay, not the first live action one from the 90s.
No.
Yeah, he did the
middle
second
one.
Yeah, the one that when they were doing like because he did the Lion King, like that stop motion. Yeah. He did that one. That came out relatively recently, within the decade or so.
Well, the one with Christopher Walken as the...
I never saw it.
Oh, you never saw it?
Mm.
Yeah, so Scarlett Johansson is... What the hell is her name? The snake.
Oh.
Look at this delicious man cub in the original cartoon.
Oh, well, she'd actually do the really good job with that.
Yeah, she did that character. And then King Louie was Christopher Walken. So there's that one. But then before then was the John one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little... I don't want to say it was like an independent one.
No, but it was still Disney.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it was, I don't know. It just didn't get as much...
It was popular when I was a kid. The live action one.
Yeah.
I mean, because it came out, I want to say in like 94.
Well, let's just double check really quick. Jon Favreau.
He also directed, the likes of Iron Man. He, brought us The Mandalorian.
Oh, no, so he did do this one. What am I thinking of? So let's see. Yeah, Bill Murray. Okay, no, then I got that confused with something else.
Shere Khan, Rakasha.
Because there's another live action one.
That's
her
name.
No,
the other live action one you're thinking of with like Mowgli's like almost an adult or is an adult. Unless you're what?
I'm thinking of, I don't know. I'm doing something weird in my head because I thought there was this other one that I saw.
What? Jungle Book. Yeah, the 1994 one.
Oh, I'm thinking of this.
Oh, Mowgli, the Legend of...
Yeah, with Christian Bale.
Fuck is that?
That's what I'm thinking of. Came out in 2018. Mowgli, the Legend of the Jungle.
The Legend of the Jungle? What?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, it was a Netflix?
And Andy Serkis directed that one.
Whoa. I have not heard of this at all.
I'm crossing my wires. But yeah, there were two that came out pretty close together.
Okay, so
Andy Serkis did this one.
Yeah.
Then Jon Favreau did the one with Bill Murray, Scarlett Johansson.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I crossed my wires on that one. Okay.
Oh, I can totally see why. They're only 2 years apart from each other.
Yeah, so...
And, like, since I had no knowledge of that Netflix one, like, of course, I'm like, bro, what's
That's
wrong
what I was saying.
here?
There's the 90s one, the most recent one. Then there was one in the middle, but I just couldn't remember.
And he did the one in the middle, technically. 2016 to 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did the one in the middle. So I kind of had it right. I just had a little crosswire there.
All right. But, Jon Favreau, like, he's... It's interesting because, like, there's a couple things that he's right. Like, the Lion King remake was kind of a... I think that Jungle Book one was not really well received as well.
It wasn't well received, but the voice acting was phenomenal. I mean, Christopher Walken is King Louis. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. You, woo, I want to be like you. And Christopher Walken singing that was phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
And he was like, and also they made him like 10 feet tall orangutan. He was huge. Jesus. And he's, listen here, man, cub. You just it was really awesome.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
But like, if Jon Favreau, if he doesn't actually with him doing like Jungle Book and The Lion King and figuring out, like we talked about this a while ago with Star Wars: The Mandalorian. He doesn't do those movies. He doesn't really discover this specific type of like filming on a soundstage with like projections and computer, like in the actual set, like in the room with people, that with this like 3D like camera filming thing. It's so hard to explain. We don't have The Mandalorian. We don't have this new beautiful looking Star Wars.
Yeah,
like
we can never escape fucking Star Wars.
No. No, as soon as I saw Jon Favreau, I was like, well, we're going into fucking MCU and fucking Star Wars like that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, yeah, he's an executive producer on, like, all of, like, everything that's, like, Marvel.
And a really good damn actor.
Yeah, he is. He is a damn good actor.
I love him.
Dude, he's great in Chef.
Yeah, like, to give a face, maybe you don't know what he looks like. He was his first big role, Swingers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's my first introduction to him as an actor.
Yeah.
Chef... And then he does a lot of like random little, like he's in Four Christmases with Vince Vaughn and
there's something I'm trying to think. My introduction to him was actually Friends, because he's the
Pete.
billionaire. Yeah,
he's Pete.
He's the billionaire that Monica dates.
Oh, in Iron Man, he's happy.
Yeah, he is happy in the MCU.
Yeah, like okay, yeah. So they give a face. Are him and Vince Vaughn like best friends?
But more or less, yeah.
They're always like in each other's movies and
yeah.
But yeah, so that's John. Go John. I like his stuff.
Yeah, no, he's definitely like, I think we can mutually agree, like one of our favorite directors, like
definitely
of the modern era.
But what I like about John too is that he fucks up.
Yeah.
He's not every movie he touches is great, but he tries.
He tries. And whether or not he does a good job or not, it's also like he knows how to learn from it.
Yeah, and it's like if I see him under directing credit, I'll watch it.
What's really crazy is like, as we're just getting stuck on Jon Favreau, if you watch like the how the movie was made or whatever, that Netflix thing, like, or Movies That Made Us.
Yeah.
And one of them's the holidays special, and they talk about Elf, and he was an unknown like director at this time. Like nobody knew who he was for that.
Main like that was kind of lightning in a bottle for him, right?
Exactly, lightning, because he created an actual like a timeless Christmas special, and like that's kind of the thing they talk about. And there's that Jon Favreau is like, okay, so the Elf, what we need from the script set needs to be about family. It needs to have like the spirit of Christmas in it, and it needs to feel like a timeless classic.
And that's what it became, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and like I just love that. It's like, because if it's about Christmas, it has to be about family, and I love that. You know, and then you got James Caan, who strangely just does this amazing, like his odd chemistry with Will Ferrell that like doesn't fit, but then like warms your heart at the end is so good.
Oh yeah, with the whole what's the word I'm looking for? Tumultuous father-son relationship. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Okay, let's move forward.
That wasn't the word I was looking for, but that works.
I know where you're going.
Okay.
And I think the audience knows where you're going.
To start off with writers.
No,
I know. This is easy. I figured out a way to make this easy.
There's clumps of them.
Yeah. So first and foremost, this is a graphic novel, or was originally a graphic novel written by Scott Mitchell Rosenberg.
Hold on a second. I don't think it was. I think did he write it?
He was the creator of it.
The creator of it, and written by Fred Von Lente and Andrew Foley.
Yeah.
So like, but it was created by Scott Mitchell Rosenberg.
And he's credited on the movie because it is, it's like putting Bob Kane for Batman. It's
yes, exactly.
Bill Finger,
But the graphic novel, let's say, yeah. So, I think he probably, his name is like, he probably had like, ideas with the whole fucking graphic novel as well. So yeah, he's a good one to first point out. Are you going into Steve next?
I was just gonna do Robert Orci and Alex Kurtzman, because this is just like kind of like what happened with Wild Wild West. They're in
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Technically, with Scott, the creator, there's 7 writers attached
to this project.
Credited for this project. Which, God.
So I was just putting kind of like Wild Wild West rather than like we're just gonna put them together. So Robert Orci and Alex Kurtzman are obviously work on the same projects. Alias, that's back.
Yeah.
The Island, Legend of Zorro, Mission Impossible 3, Transformers 1, Lock and Key, which is a Netflix show.
Yeah.
Star Trek, and The Amazing Spider-Man, which is the one with Andrew Garfield, if you can't remember which one that is.
Oh, I didn't know that they were a writer on that.
So yeah, so that's to give an idea.
You're just looking at Roberto Orci and Alex Kurtzman, right?
Yeah, I'm just throwing them together because they worked on similar projects.
Legend of Zorro. I was so confused because I was like, isn't that called The Mask of Zorro?
The Legend of Zorro is the second one.
And I didn't know that existed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what?
Which is a bummer because The Mask of Zorro is pretty good.
It's so good.
It's really good.
And it's really, I love like Antonio Banderas.
Third time's charm.
Yeah. Banderas is a great fucking Zorro.
Well, with that one too, they really leaned into like a Count of Monte Cristo revenge thing, and they did it really well.
In the Mask?
Yeah. The Mask of Zorro. It has that. You were like, man, you really want him to get his revenge, and they sold that really well. And
then The Legend of Zorro, is it just like kind of a popcorn
it's
action flick?
It kind of, okay, this is also just like from memory. If I remember correctly, kind of think of like the Pirates sequels. Mm-hmm. There's not really as much drama. It's kind of funny, like slapsticky action situations. But yeah, it's no Mask of Zorro. Because
did you bring up Damon Lindelof?
I have not yet.
Okay. Which the only big thing I saw from him that I really wanted to put was like he's like one of the creators for Lost.
Yeah, and a writer for. I guess you could also bring up World War Z because that's an adaptation of a book. And it's kind of.
And he did the screenplay for that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of in this wheelhouse. Well, because even then, these aren't credited as writers; they're all credited as screenplay writers.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of people to write a screenplay.
3 of them were credited as screens. It was like screenplay, and then the 3 were as screen story or something. And that's these 3: Roberto, Alex, and Damon. Like, see, it's so confusing on how they have it set up with this one. Yeah, screen story. Oh no, screen story was Mark, Hawk, and Steve.
Yeah, screenplay, and screenplay, and screenplay. Oh, screen story, and screen story, and screen story.
So yeah, screen story now with also screenplay credits. Mark Ferguson, Hawk Ostby.
What a great name.
Yeah. Which really, the 2 big ones that I noticed was Children of Men and Iron Man. Which makes sense, and I feel like they were kind of like at the beginning of the top of it. So like they did Iron Man with John. So maybe John was like, hey, I want these guys.
Yeah, and then going back to Damon Lindelof too, he did the Watchmen TV series.
Oh, he did.
Which I was like, again, kind of fit in because he comic book world thing. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you can definitely see like where they were thinking. I don't know.
And then
the most random one out of all of them,
Steve Odeckirk. I can't say his name very well as well. Odeckirk, who he's famously known for being a writer in Living Color, writer of Ace Ventura, kind of helped him and Jim Carrey created the character of Ace Ventura together. He also did Kung Pao.
Oh yeah,
and the Way of the Fist or whatever. He's actually the lead actor in that. And so I have like a little bit of
Nutty Professor, Patch Adams, Bruce Almighty. The reason I think we say that he's so random is because all of his are very
like slapsticky comedy.
Yeah.
So really quick, what I got on like the writing aspect from on Wikipedia kind of gives like the rundown of why there's so many writers.
All right, let's hear it.
So in the film's period as a developing project under several studios.
Oh, yeah, actually, I knew this. We could tell everybody. It's real convoluted.
Different versions of the screenplay were drafted by numerous screenwriters, beginning with Steve Odeckirk. Other screenwriters involved included David Hayter, Thomas Dean Donnelly, Joshua Oppenheimer, Jeffrey Boehm, Thomas Evans, and Chris Haughty. Notice none of those names were on this list for the actual IMDb credits that we're talking about. When Universal and DreamWorks repartnered in 2007, they hired Hawk Otsby and Mark Fergus. Okay. In 2009, Otsby and Fergus were replaced by Alex Kurtzman, Roberto Orci, and Damon Lindelof. Kurtzman and Orci analyzed American Western films, including The Searchers. I think we can just kind of skip the rest of that because then it goes into like, oh yeah, we researched sci-fi to figure out what we should do. Imagine you're watching Unforgiven and then Aliens Land. Is how Orci explained the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like again, like just another movie. I mean, I think there's a trend I see here with a summer flop buster, as we've been calling it, is when you have more than 3 writers on a goddamn script and it's been jumping around between multiple people way too much, you're gonna end up having something that just doesn't really pan out that well.
Yeah, and it's like, and a lot of critics are like, it's convoluted. It's like, yeah, well, because of that exact reason.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't understand it. It's maybe like, I would love for if at one point a writer for Hollywood could answer this question for me. Why not just scrap the entire idea and start over? Is that because you're not going to have enough time, or because that's what I would do? I'd be like, no, I'm not going to take this person's whatever the hell they were doing and then try and
make it my own in whatever way.
Connect it, and you know what I mean? I'd be like, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to start over. And I don't know. I
mean, some of them might do that as well. I mean, that's true. That's what they ended up doing with Rise of Skywalker when Abrams finally took over for like writing and everything.
That didn't work out great either, did it?
No. Hey, remember what? Oh, yeah. No, we're not talking about that. But yeah, like this movie just kind of went all over the place. But the acting was actually pretty good in it. That was a pleasantly surprising thing.
Mm-hmm.
And also the special effects aren't bad.
No, not at all.
It's just a very strange story. Which did we already mention that it has nothing to do with the story of the comic? Like the actual storyline of the comic, the graphic novel.
I didn't really read the synopsis of the graphic novel.
I kind of like I brushed through it. But yeah, so this is based off of just like a standalone 105-page graphic novel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's not serialized, no continuation. I think they have talked about working on like a sequel to the graphic novel.
There is a sequel.
There is one.
There's a web comic.
Oh, okay.
That is Cowboys and Aliens
but
too.
no, like it literally. The story is about 2 cowboys that are like trying to protect a caravan that just come across aliens.
Oh, okay. So the movie's completely different.
The movie's completely different.
Yeah.
Like they literally like the characters' names aren't even the same. Like here, like in 1873, gunslingers Zeke Jackson and Verity Jones are hired to protect a caravan that is heading to Silver City, Arizona. Commander Radar Dar. It's like none of these names are like any of the same names that are in the movie. Like I think they literally just took this premise of there being cowboys and aliens, and I think what the aliens are doing in a way taking humans, just abducting.
Yeah.
And just, we're like, okay, what kind of story can we make for the humans now? And they just like started from bare bone there.
Yeah.
So like I said, I feel like that's why I think it was kind of weird to air it at San Diego Comic-Con, because I'm pretty sure there was people that are like,
what the hell is this?
What the hell is this movie? Like, this is not Cowboys and Aliens. Like, kind of, I'm like, what the fuck is Mortal Kombat? This is not Mortal Kombat. So you want to go into actors starring?
So I wouldn't highlighted the main ones that kind of had like the actual amount of screen time.
Yeah.
Because also something kind of interesting is there's a lot of people in this movie, but if you go in through their list, a lot of them were just stunt double people.
Yeah. Well, and then not only
stunt specialists.
or just like I feel like there's a handful of them that it's led to that they would have they're gonna have a much larger role, and then when the aliens come and take the amount of people that they do, you're like, oh shit, so this is actually the main cast that we're focusing on.
Yeah.
So
I mean, first and foremost, leading man was Daniel Craig,
which I want to call out. I really like his name, Jake Lonergan, because like
it sounds like loner gun.
Like a loner gun. Yeah,
I caught that too. Daniel Craig plays Jake Lonergan. You might recognize him from James Bond. He was I thought this was just funny. He was in A Kid in King Arthur's Court.
Really?
I want to watch that again just to see. Oh, there he is. Because I don't remember him being in that.
Yeah. So he's James Bond. He's the detective in Knives Out.
Yeah. Most recently,
he was in Layer Cake.
He was in the first Lara Croft with. I mean, I guess they never rebooted those, did they?
No. Well, I mean, they ended up doing. They did. There was a new Lara Croft, but it bombed.
Oh, was there? Oh, I missed that entirely. But he was in the first Lara Croft with Angelina Jolie, Golden Compass, Defiance. That's a cool World War II movie.
I don't remember the Golden Compass that well.
Yeah.
And then probably the next biggest build cast star is probably Harrison Ford.
Yeah, but he was way down on that list.
I know that. I think it's because I really think in credits ordered, I think it's pretty much who you see first.
Oh.
That's out of importance,
Uh-huh. Harrison Ford, which we know who.
Yeah, if you don't know who Harrison Ford is, I'm sorry. I mean, he was the president of the United States at one point, God damn it.
And didn't like terrorists on his goddamn plane.
Get off my plane.
Olivia Wilde.
Yep, she's probably. I would definitely give her the third top build. I mean, they're the three names on the poster.
Yeah. Tron Legacy, Lazarus Effect, In Time, and she was in Girl Next Door, which I don't remember her being in that.
I wonder if she's just like a friend.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I wonder if now you'd be like, oh shit,
her really bit I feel like she's really more known for House, because she's like the lead. She's one of the main actresses on that, isn't she?
Oh, I don't know.
What, really?
I haven't watched House in forever.
I've never really watched an episode of House. I mean, I just I've always seen her on it. I'm pretty sure. We didn't write this down well enough. Yeah,
no, I looked at her IMDb. I didn't see
House.
Oh, she is in House. Okay. Man, I really don't remember House. I don't know how much of that I watched, actually. Some fun mentions is Paul Dano.
Yes. I really like him in this.
Little Miss Sunshine, There Will Be Blood, Girl Next Door.
He's one of the friends.
What's the first thing I've ever seen him in? Was Girl Next Door.
I don't know what the first thing I ever saw him in was.
He's going to be in the new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. That's his up-and-coming big thing.
There's rumors of, what do we want to say, the rumor of who he might be? Big talk?
Isn't he like a mixture between Calendar Man and Riddler?
Yeah, maybe he's supposed to be the Riddler.
But then he has aspects of Calendar Man.
Because they're kind of making, because Calendar Man is
Sam Rockwell.
He's one of the main members, I would say, of this.
This movie is just a lot of supporting roles for a lot of people.
But Sam Rockwell, he's fun. It's not a regular Sam Rockwell role, I would say.
It's very not Sam Rockwell.
He's very
subdued
through this movie. Yeah, but he has but he pulls it. He does it well.
I mean, my favorite Sam Rockwell has to be Seven Psychopaths.
I've never seen that.
What? Oh, dude, you need to watch it just for him.
Dude, I don't know.
He's so funny in that.
He's great in Choke, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Moon.
Iron Man 2, he was pretty good as like a sleazy bastard.
Oh, that's Iron Man 3, isn't it?
With Whiplash?
Oh, is he the one with Whiplash?
He's no.
I'm thinking of Guy Pearce in the number 3.
Yeah, no. He's the other Stark Industry company.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what he's. Hammer. Yeah, he's Hammer Industries CEO.
Yes. Clancy Brown, who actually I really like. I feel like this was a really it really showed because Clancy Brown he's in so many random things that we've kind of talked about as well. Yeah,
he's one of those faces. Well, because then it was nice to see him. He was a preacher in this, and it was just a very different.
And his character was very important and very pivotal to the story of this movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, but he was also like it was nice to see him soft.
Yeah,
not so like he's always like the drill sergeant, or he's always screaming at people and stuff. But this was nice to see him as like an understanding man of God that wants to help his flock. It was just really weird for him, but that was kind of cool. Keith Carradine
was kind of cool to see.
Oh, yeah. The only thing I've ever seen him in was Dexter. And I didn't even recognize him.
Oh, really? Oh, man. Hold on a second. I've definitely seen him in more than that. And I didn't write anything down.
What is that piece of paper for then?
Dude, I was so tired. Oh, that's right. He's Penny's dad in the Big Bang Theory. When I was in such a place when I was watching this the other day. Like, kids, don't drink. Stop drinking alcohol now. If you do now, just don't do it anymore.
Adam Beach.
Yes. Who the fuck does he play again? Where is he at?
He's the surrogate son.
Colorado, yeah. He's a surrogate son for Harrison Ford. Yeah, he was abandoned by the Apache tribe or something, or no, he was taken.
He was taken, and then
there's actually a kind of a beautiful story arc with him and like with his Native American ancestry and stuff.
And Adam Beach you might recognize from Suicide Squad. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't. But
yeah, because I was like, who? What?
He's the one that they use an example to show how they can blow up heads.
Yep.
So the guy that gets his head blown up, that's him.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Joe Dirt, Wind Talkers, Flags of Our Fathers. He's just been around forever.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of. Oh, and then fucking Wyatt Russell. That was random.
Wyatt Russell?
Yeah. He's an overlord. I've seen. That's the thing. Is a lot of these actors you've seen in a lot of things forever.
Oh, also like Walt Goggins or what the fuck his name is. Walton Goggins, who he has got like the big teeth and the big forehead. He was in Hateful Eight. Walton Goggins, right below Harrison Ford.
Oh yeah, fucking no. The Texan from Shanghai Noon.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly.
This guy's crazier than a jackrabbit. I thought that was so funny to see him in this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, oh, they just took that.
Pretty much. Oh, he's got like a strangely good face for the West. Yeah, for westerns.
Yeah. He's a character in Justified.
He currently has a show called The Unicorn that I don't know anything about.
Oh, it's really good.
Is it?
It's really good. Yeah, The Unicorn. It's about
his like wife dies or something, right?
Yeah, he's a widower,
and
it's just about him raising his 2 daughters and like coming to terms with his wife passing away, and kind of like the over the top like sympathy that he's getting. Like he basically they live off the food, like the frozen lasagnas.
Oh, that everybody's making for them.
Yeah, so they just freeze them, and he's just been in this kind of state of denial of like really dealing with anything.
Oh, damn!
It's like a comedy drama.
Yeah, dark comedy. Yeah.
I watched the first season like in a day.
Oh wow, really?
And he was phenomenal in it. He was it's very sweet.
It sounds like I would be crying a lot.
It's sad, but it's really and like his daughters are trying to get him like back out there.
Okay,
yeah, it's really good, and it was weird for him.
Yeah, because I remember when I saw, I was like, "That's the very out of like what he's generally
cast. And he did really good.
Hell yeah, I like that.
He did really good.
I hope that I hope it springs his career in another direction.
Yeah,
I love little success stories like that for someone that's like not really recognized for anything, and just like one little role breaks them into like an completely
breaks the roof off of their like the cap of their career.
Mm-hmm.
And then just for shits and giggles, Ana de la.
Ana de la Reguera.
I can't read my handwriting. Yes. Who she was in Army of the Dead, and it's just funny because we just talked about that last week.
Inside
jokes. And then just someone I always feel, and then I guess like a very important character you don't really see her, Abigail Spencer. She was in Grey's Anatomy. She's like a character that she's important for the plot, but she doesn't really have a lot of screen time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, but like we're really like the majority of this movie, we're only gonna follow Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford, Sam Rockwell, Olivia Wilde, and Clancy Brown, and I guess there's more that I've thought. Well,
at the end of the day, there are three. There are three,
yeah.
But it's like a lot, that's just as weird. A lot of these are supporting actors, and then there are three. Daniel Craig, huge. Olivia Wilde, everybody knows. Harrison Ford, everybody knows. You could say Paul Dano, and people aren't gonna know what the fuck you're talking about. But then you're the preacher guy from There Will Be Blood. Oh, okay, that's Paul Dano. It's like Clancy Brown, same kind of thing. You know, like you've seen
the
these
sergeant
people.
from Starship Troopers.
Yeah, Sam Rockwell.
A burp.
He actually won an Oscar for that.
Nice.
So just Tommy's synopsis real quick, because just to give you context. So, prospecting aliens arrive on Earth in the 1800s looking for gold and humans to experiment on.
Nice, yeah. That's a
pretty...
From the alien perspective.
Yeah, from the alien perspective.
Yeah.
Makes it sound like, it almost makes it sound like, okay, like they're going to look for gold. And like, what, experimenting, on humans? Interesting. So yeah, that's the basic premise. And then going to some reviews, I go to my boy Roger Ebert, especially when I find that he was still with us. So I like to read his, especially on shit like this, because he's mean. Cowboys and Aliens has without any doubt the most cockamamie plot I've witnessed in many a moon. Then I jumped ahead. This is not a satire nor a comedy. Humanity is in danger, and it's up to two rough cowboys of the old West to save us. Two rough-hewn cowboys of the old West to save us. Like, okay, yeah, that's about right. Yeah,
that's 100%. Like, that's so on point.
And then this one, I like to do one negative, one positive if I can find it. Anna Hornaday, Washington Post, a loving throwback to the classic Western and sci-fi adventures of yore. The celebration of two of cinema's most revered genre doesn't stint on lavishing their most cherished conventions with even-handed affection and respect. It's a sci-fi Western and it knows what it is.
Yeah.
Basically. That's kind of how I took that.
Okay.
And there's a couple here that... Dan Jolin, from Empire, a simple entertainment in a summer of overcomplicated disappointments. Also much harder edge than you might have expected, which I agree with that. This was way more actually violent than I remember it being.
That's fair.
There's a couple scenes I was like, holy shit, he just beat the hell out of that guy.
I like Kirk Honeycutt, what he says here. The key to its success lies in the determination by everyone involved to play the damn thing straight. Even the slightest goofiness, the tiniest touch of camp, and the whole thing would blow sky high, but it doesn't.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, is like...
I mean, there's a couple of like fun little jokes like that prod around in there with like Sam Rockwell's character and like how because like the hardened cowboy that's like kind of making fun of him. And he's like, are you going to be an asshole like this the entire time? Because if so...
Our conversations will be short.
Yeah.
Or like that Paul Dano became like the punching bag.
Mm-hmm. Like, give me your hand.
Yeah, like Fallon was like, look, he's gonna get hit again. It's gonna be really funny. And then sure enough, but that's like what's funny about this movie and what kind of makes it really enjoyable is everything about it on paper is so ridiculous.
It sounds so ridiculous.
But then they got these pretty good actors to really drive it home. And like I said, a lot of them were just support, but they did their roles really well. Mm-hmm. And it made a very lived in world. You're like, okay, that's the preacher. He fits that role. Clancy Brown, good job. All right, come on. Paul Dano's the spoiled brat asshole. He did really great. Like it just kind of worked out. I thought it was really
it unfolds in a decent way as well. Like it's because like you really think it's just going to be just like this casual Western until boom, the aliens are there. And then you're like, oh, this is something completely more.
Totally. Like even this review right here from Arizona Republic, Bill Goody Coons.
Is that his real name?
Goody Coons. Exactly what it sounds like. A cowboy movie and an alien movie thrown together. A genre mashup that's more fun than good, but pretty good nonetheless. It's like, yeah, actually.
Yeah. So fun little like connection to even like going into the Wild Wild West.
The movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this movie, like we said, was a graphic novel. It was produced by Platinum Comics, which is the same, like it's like almost the same, technically the same. Well, I think it's Scott, the guy that created this comic. He's one of the people that created Men in Black comics.
Oh, weird. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and we just did Wild Wild West starring Will Smith
and the
director from Men in Black.
Huh.
So in some weird way, we found like a 6 degree, like a Kevin Bacon 7 degrees of separation.
Without even meaning to.
Yeah, of like these two movies having some strange connection.
That's funny.
Yeah.
There's just no giant spider.
But there are aliens.
But there are aliens. Yeah, that's funny. I didn't put that together. That's interesting. That was completely by accident.
That was 100% by accident.
We really just went with the flopbuster.
Yeah.
You said Wild Wild West, and I was like, okay, I want to keep with the Cowboys and Aliens. You're like, I haven't seen it. I was like, cool, there we go.
Like, so I have a really short review. Like I said, like I kind of had a rough time watching this movie, so I kind of phoned in some of this review. But pretty much everything we've already said is in this review. So I'm just gonna read it.
Just go through it.
Sometimes a movie's title fits it perfectly. It fits it so perfectly that it sums up the entire movie. Cowboys and Aliens is one of those movies. There's cowboys and then aliens. And what do? They fight each other. With a large array of characters, I did find myself attentive to each one of them, as I didn't necessarily care for them, but I wanted to see their journey. Each character comes out of the movie with growth, which I was pleasantly surprised by. The special effects are good, and a good example of what 2011 effects had to offer. Coming from an interesting history of comic books, I found Cowboys and Aliens to be fun and nothing really more, in my opinion.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
I think that's just really what it is. Like even when I put it on last night and didn't realize I got all my notes done, and it was like, okay, I guess I'll get started on this. And it was very late or very early in the morning, depending on how you look at it. And then I looked on IMDb that it was 1 hour and 56 minutes long. I was like, fuck. And then I got
and then
look at the text that this kid, Jacob over here, watched the extended version.
Like, oh, by the way, I'm watching the extended version. You should watch that too, so we have the same style of same notes and talk about the same stuff.
And that's a 2 hour and 15-minute movie, so things got a little loosey-goosey and weird by the end there.
Well, I was like, I'm sitting there like, I'm like, oh, extended version can't be that long. Like, it's Cowboys and Aliens. How much more extended can it be?
20 minutes.
Oh. And then also, like, how is it a 2 hour long movie to begin with? But like, I don't know. There is a lot that they cover.
It worked.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel like stretching it.
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know. I am kind of curious. I don't really want to anytime soon. But I would definitely be interested in going back and watching the unextended version and seeing if it maybe flows a little bit better, actually.
Like it took out just enough.
Yeah, because I mean, 20 minutes is a lot.
It's a lot of time
in film.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's pretty much like an entire movement, you know, in a way.
Yeah, well, like that could be entire episode of Friends, you know,
exactly
that much content,
or
a sitcom of some sort.
I was kind of realizing, and I brought this up to you today, around this time period, like I feel like it was like the mid-aughts to like the early 2010s. There was this big thing of like the unrated version, and like,
oh yeah, you just said this.
Yeah, that's what.
That's what
and I was like, I was kind of thinking about it, I was like, because this is all like, this is right before the boom of like online streaming, and like Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hulu and all of that stuff, where there was still a huge like push for sale of DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff like that. So it made sense for these film companies, like these producers, to like, yeah, here's the theatrical release. Let's release this in the theaters. And then a way to get people to buy the movie is like, oh, here's the extended version.
Yeah.
That extra 20 minutes that you haven't seen.
Or like fucking, what was it? I Am Legend. Buy the DVD with the crazy, super confidential ending. Kind of confidential. Controversial ending.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, spoiler alert. He doesn't die. That's the big controversial. Granted, you changed Okay, great.
Yeah.
But if they the way they hyped it up, like you'll never believe.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck you.
It's like, ooh, like I like, especially at that time, like there was like a big, like huge wave of comedy films from like Judd Apatow's like crew of people, like Seth Rogen stuff.
Yeah.
Judd Apatow. So like I remember like I was like 40-Year-Old Virgin unrated. Got to get that. Forgetting Sarah Marshall unrated version. Yes, getting that.
That's you didn't buy the theatrical one. You waiting unrated. Like
exactly.
You didn't, no, you're like, no, screw that. I'm not getting the rated R one. I want the unrated one
because that's gonna have that's gonna have the shit that they didn't want to show in the theaters.
Yeah, that's gonna be the good shit.
That's gonna be what with the fucking the MPA rating people are like. That was just one too many penis jokes.
One too many fucks.
One too many penis jokes. Can we take that vagina joke out? That made me uncomfortable. I fucking hate the MPA. So this movie.
Yeah, I totally was. I had a hardcore train thought, and it just went bye.
Crash.
Bummer.
Well, I mean, honestly, the only so I guess like to start some shit off for talking with this. Clancy Brown's character. Can you bring up the cast list?
I'll put that up.
Since he's like the preacher. Meacham? What they call him? Was it Meekum? Anywho,
I just call him Father a lot and shit.
That's true. Yeah, he was the father.
Yeah,
Father Meekum. He is kind of like the wise old man. Like he's like the Obi-Wan in this story.
You just had to, huh?
No, but seriously, he's like not like.
You could have said Gandalf. You could have said anybody.
Well, fuck. Sorry. All right. Sorry. I want to talk about Star Wars more than I like Lord of the Rings. God. What's this movie? Oh, they walk.
Dude, that'd be a fun episode to do. Debate Lord of the Rings versus Star Wars.
Oh my God.
But do it like high school debate. Like what is better? But
we would have to get a moderator for that.
True.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that'd be really funny.
Oh, that is a good idea. Let's bank that.
Yeah,
let's bank that.
You do so many things.
So like he spoiler alert, he dies like a quarter of the way, third about halfway through the movie.
Pretty
maybe
quickly.
No, I mean it's in their first encampment after they've like started their journey to try to find where the aliens are.
Well, wait, why are you jumping to him though?
Because I wanted his quote on because this is the theme of the entire movie. This is the spine of the film.
Okay.
He says to Daniel Bryan's character, "You're not defined by who you were, but who you are."
You said Daniel Brown.
Did I say Clancy Brown and Danny Craig having a love child?
Daniel Brown, love that guy.
He says to Jake Lonergan,
Loner gun.
It's you're not defined by who you were, but who you are, and that's what pretty much every character has in their arc in this movie.
Yeah, well, but also he says God doesn't judge you on who you were.
Thank you. Yeah.
He judges you on who you are.
So there's like, because they're in the, it's the West, like they have like, they all like, there is a big.
They're God-fearing people.
Yeah. And like, yeah. So like, and that's kind of the whole thing is like, this movie is about redemption of past sins in a way. Even like Harrison Ford's character, who very racist towards the Native Americans through this entire film.
I was really wondering how that scene was gonna go. When it came up, I was
like,
Wild West.
God, right?
Wild West. Here we go again.
And then, has his weird redemption for it. Like, I don't want to really consider it like, I don't really want to consider racist remarks or anything with like have type of redemption, but like they show a thing of what would be redemption for him as his surrogate son who was Native American. He then cares for as he's dying because he realizes that this young man looked up him as a fucking father figure as well. Yeah.
Like even like those stories weren't for you.
Yeah. Yeah. But he did
it well though.
No, Harrison Ford does a great job with it. Like, playing that character, like that hands down, like really, really good acting to commit to that stuff. It's just like gross. Racism is gross, But then Daniel Craig also, he's like, trying to find redemption from being like a train robber essentially, and he feels like he abandoned everybody And he feels like he's responsible for his love's death as well because he brought the gold.
Yeah.
And if he wouldn't have stolen that gold, if he wouldn't have been that type of man,
they wouldn't have looked for them. Found them. I guess
exactly. Yeah. And Olivia Wilde's character is actually an alien.
Didn't see that coming.
It's like, what?
Yeah. What I liked about it too was like. That was maybe it's because it's 2011, but jump back a few years, that would have been a perfect example of like, we should do this scene so we can see Olivia Wilde's butt. I was waiting for us.
Like you're saying like a couple years earlier from 2011.
Yeah, like that they would have been like, cool, let's put this scene in there and then ask Olivia Wilde to show her butt. And I was like, are we gonna do that right now? And then it didn't happen. I was like, okay,
no, they did a good job covering her.
We made progress.
Even the extended version, certainly the extended version, they'll show the.
They would have had her butt.
Yeah,
like you would assume it would have had her butt.
She probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she put like a nudity clause in her contract where it's like, if you want to see even my butt or this, you're going to give me an extra like $100,000 to $50,000 to $500,000 or something.
Something like that.
Yeah,
or it just was not on the table.
Yeah, she's like, it's not on the table. I don't care. You can offer me $10 million cajillion fucking dollars.
Don't know what her contract was like, but like she's an alien, which I didn't see coming. That was way out of left field. But then
there was something weird about her through the entire movie where I was like, I think like there was even a moment where I was like, is she actually the woman that Jake was in love with? And she somehow reincarnated with the aliens or something. And now she's like just in a different body. Or maybe like he's having memory problems and she's actually her and he doesn't remember her. That's why she's always like, do you remember now? Like, I'm like, what is this weird connection she has with him?
Well, yeah, I mean, like the movie, just for context too, the movie starts off with just kind of a pan of the desert. And then very suddenly Daniel Craig pops up, not looking great.
Yep.
And he has basically like a Pit Boy on his arm.
Yeah,
kind of like,
he's got like an iron wrist like
machine thing.
If you don't know what Pit Boy is, it's a main thing in Fallout.
Yeah,
and if you haven't played Fallout, it's a video game.
That was more for you.
Yeah,
that's more for you. But yeah, and then these guys come up and they're like asking if he's okay, but then think that the metal thing is a.
They
think it's a handcuff. So he's escaped.
Oh yeah, I think it could be a handcuff or something.
So like, let's take you into town and see if there's a bounty on your head, yada yada yada.
Lo and behold, there actually is.
Yeah, but it kind of turns into Bourne. He doesn't remember who he is, but he still has this crazy killer instinct.
Or Jackie Chan's Who Am I?
Yeah, and he just like wrecks these dudes, which I was like, I don't remember being like, dude, it's not grotesquely violent, but it's pretty violent.
He literally jumps that guy off the horse. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like it wasn't like super, like it wasn't, like Saw violent, but for what it was surprising. I was like, oh wow, he stabs one guy in like the main vein in his leg, whatever I can't remember what that's called.
The artery, or are you talking the femoral artery?
Yeah, like gets a guy right in there, shoots another guy in the chest with a shotgun, and then with the butt of the shotgun knocks some dude's teeth out, and then hits him like 6 times. I was like, okay, like. This is how this is starting, right?
Welcome to the cowboy land.
I was like, Jesus, all right. But yeah, so that's his whole thing is like he's been abducted for some reason by the aliens.
And he doesn't remember anything.
And he's trying to piece together what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
basically.
And that's when he stumbles across this town, and then like. What's his name? Percy, who is Harrison Ford's son, who's played by Paul Dano as the son, making a muck or being a drunk mess, and I'm
gonna tell my daddy.
My daddy says I drink free because I get with cattle around here brings all the money here. Burr, 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 burr. And Daniel Craig is just like, yeah, I don't give a fuck, and kicks him in the balls essentially. Eventually, it's all leading to this point of Harrison Ford coming down to like get his son who's about to go to jail
for accidentally shooting a deputy.
Yeah. So it's like at the end of the night, and then all of a sudden the aliens show up, and then they start abducting people.
Yeah.
So it kind of like, and then Olivia Wilde's character, what's her name actually?
Ella Swenson.
Okay. She kind of like, she's aware of what's kind of going on, and like, I don't know, they're like, we need to go find our people, and then they go off on a journey to find the people, and then that's right, one of the aliens
They're tracking an alien.
They're tracking an alien because Daniel Craig, the fucking thing that's on his wrist, you find out it's actually their alien technology somehow, and it's a gun that can actually like hurt their stuff.
Yeah, it's like a big old plasma rifle.
Yeah,
like it transforms and it gets like a handle and it.
Yeah.
Which was also like, I'm surprised that's not taking his arm off.
Yeah, right.
It's like made for his anatomy. So,
no, not at all.
So I don't know. I will say I think the biggest disappointment in this was the design of the aliens.
Yeah, they looked like weird, just like crab people almost, like fish. They like.
Well, in the dark, they reminded me of Pumpkinhead.
I can kind of see that, yeah.
But then when you actually saw them in light, yeah, they looked like beetle.
No, they looked like a weird, like like they had big fish eyes and kind of like a grotesque, like merman mouth thing.
Yeah, and they had clearly like an exoskeleton. Because I heard a lot of reviews saying, they reminded me of xenomorph aliens. I was like, no,
not
xenomorph.
No, not
xenomorphs are terrifying. These weren't. These were kind of whatever.
See, they actually have right here. The alien. This is from the Wikipedia on the writing spot as well. Let's see. The comic has the themes of enemies uniting to fight a common enemy, which is kind of what they do. Is in this, like all the humans that are bickering, they have to like find unity together to defeat the aliens. But then the aliens were loosely based on Anunnaki gods. Let me see if I can get a pronunciation on that while this loads. Of Zechariah Sitchin's interpretation of the Babylonian religion, who have a distinct interest in gold.
Oh, there's actually like a...
Yeah, so they're actually like based off of like... not what they look like, though. Okay, I was thinking they were... They based what the aliens... What they wanted... like their idea. Okay, I thought this was going to be a thing like they based like their way they looked,
the physiology.
The physiology. No, but it's not the physiology. Their mentalities based off like Babylonian religion stuff from a very distinct author, Zechariah Sitchin. Oh, okay. Well, that's not what I wanted to bring up then, because we were talking about physiology and the anatomy of the alien.
Well, I mean, it's a good point, though. Yeah, the whole premise is they're on Earth looking for gold. It's never really explained why, except it's
Olivia Wilde's character kind of does. It's like it's a rare metal,
even for them. But as like,
it seems like it powers the ship somehow.
I was gonna say though, because we use gold for electronics.
Yeah, no gold. So, it's a very but.
It's a soft, malleable metal.
Multiple use.
Multiple use. It's a malleable metal that you can use for electronics and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. We need a phrase for it. That whole, they handed it to you. Just take it and just go, okay. They like gold. Yeah, that's why. That's put whatever. Basically, blank, this is why, whatever you want to put in there, put in there.
Yeah.
I was like, they use it to power their ship or make technology out of it.
Essentially, eventually you find out that Jake had escaped the alien ship by attacking one of them, by waking up in the middle of like a procedure.
Yeah.
Or before a procedure.
Very, like the review said, very cliche. He was on a table.
Yep. And he just
experimented on.
He was getting ready to be experimented on. Like they just stabbed him in his gut with their weird hot knife.
That made me cringe.
Yeah, that
I was like, ugh.
Because you can actually see go up his skin.
Yeah,
like,
it was and you heard like sizzling. I was just like,
yeah. And just like kind of a strange, it's setting up at a kind of a Deus Ex Machina type thing, is that he just is able to quickly grab the knife out of his stomach and like slice the alien's head, and then just like flailing around gets like accidentally connects the alien's like wrist weapon to his own wrist.
Yeah.
And then it's just on him and he doesn't know how to use it.
And then he did like Logan's out of the facility.
Yeah.
All like in a haze, and so.
Did you say Logan's?
Yeah, like Logan out of the, like Wolverine out of the facility.
Oh yeah. I think that's why I was making sure I was getting the right reference. Yeah. Yeah. So
I just realized those are all the three. They're related.
Oh, wow.
In the beginning that he kills.
Oh, that's funny.
Buck Taylor, Matthew Taylor, Cooper Taylor. But
Wes
then
Claiborne, Luke Claiborne.
Buck Taylor, I looked him up. He's like an old school Western guy. So they just like, hey, let's get him and I guess his kids, right?
Yeah, they really have this cast in its credits in the order of who you see first.
Holy shit. You're 100% right. Why don't they just put in credits order verified as complete?
Sometimes it's what just IMDb does. Makes
yeah,
it
but
confusing.
like in order of appearance. But yeah, so okay.
In credits order. Oh, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly how it goes down. Interesting. Sorry,
that broke your brain for a second.
I just like realized that their characters' last names and then their last name. I was like, oh, they're all the same. They just registered. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else. It's a really cliche but fun popcorn movie. I mean,
yeah, more or less. I mean, there is like the biggest cringe-worthy stuff is really Harrison Ford and his racism towards the Native Americans, and
they kind of brush over that. That's over real pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's not like Wild West where it was just
ongoing
joke.
It's like it kind of like has like there's supposed to be this moment of like because the Native Americans, the Apaches, they agree to help everybody like fight these aliens, but like kind of like on their own terms. But then the common enemies create allies. So that's kind of like
the enemy of my enemy is my friend, I guess.
Yeah, type thing. So then like Harrison Ford and this like Apache chief, they bond or whatever over like just like saving each other on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I got your back, you got mine. And that's kind of where it's just like left at. And it's like, that guy just said some real racist shit through most of this movie about Native Americans. Like,
yeah.
Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I guess, and I just like to put a cherry on top. I guess like the big threat is that Olivia Wilde being an alien and being a species that has been wiped out by these creatures. Not implies, but says outright that these are just scouts. If we don't blow up their spaceship and they leave, they'll come back and they'll wipe out the planet. So that becomes the big.
That's why they need to destroy
that becomes the facility.
Yeah, thanks for bringing. Yeah.
That becomes like the big threat. So then it becomes them saving their people, but also making sure that these guys don't get off the planet.
Yeah. So and spoilers, she ends up sacrificing herself.
Yeah, in a real predator fashion.
Yeah,
with the
doop doop yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With the wrist gun is also
because she figures out how to like she knows how it works and tells Jake that he's got to think of it like it's in his mind. It communicates with the mind. You got to stop thinking. So that she kisses him, and then he stops thinking about the gun and starts thinking about another gun, a different kind of gun.
Nice, good job on that one. Yeah, and then I mean the way I would put it, if this comes up free on something, watch it. Like, why not? If you're looking for just something kind of mindless and goofy and...
If someone told me that they had not seen it, I would say, if you see it on, why not?
Yeah, you just see it on, sure.
Or if someone was like, someone was like, would you recommend it? I wouldn't recommend it, but if they're like, I don't know, like they're asking like, I kind of want to watch it. Be like, yeah, then watch it.
Yeah, like I woun't say you have to go watch. This is
oh my god, guys! Cowboys and Aliens is one of the greatest movies I've seen in the last decade. Yeah, everyone needs to go see it now. It's
not like a cult classic.
It's not like when someone says they haven't seen The Shining and it just like breaks my brain.
It's like I think this movie will fizzle out and like this will like it already has. It's like disappeared, exactly. And I think that's fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the occasional go back. I mean, I would watch it again. Mm-hmm. If I just want something,
popcorn noise.
Yeah,
just like in the background, just like there's a little bit of that.
Sure, cool. Yeah, just have it on. I thought I was pleasantly surprised. Well, like I was saying too, like put it on really late last night. Fallon was completely and utterly uninterested, and was like, "Well, I want to see how it starts." And then she watched pretty much the entire thing until she was like, "Actually, I'm really tired. I'm gonna."
That's fair. Yeah. No, actually, yeah. It does have like enough of a story that just kind of keeps you captivated to go, I want to keep knowing more. Like I said in my review, it's like these characters I didn't really necessarily care for, but they were interesting enough where I just kind of wanted to see what their journey was.
Yeah, and like written well enough that they felt like...
And acted well enough.
Yeah, like they felt like actual characters. It wasn't just like, okay, no one felt just like a plug-in from the main roster.
Kind of. Olivia Wilde, kind of. I don't know. She felt like a Deus Ex Machina type thing.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Her character was just kind of the reveal of her being an alien made her character just a little bit more than, because it seemed like she was kind of almost going down that path of just being like the pretty girl that needs to get saved all the time.
Yeah.
You know, the damsel in distress.
But then with the whole alien thing, made her actually like a pivotal character.
Yeah,
like
she actually had information
that was necessary to the success of our mission. Kind of thing. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, still, everyone. No, yeah, I don't know. I say watch it. This isn't like, but it was pleasant to watch it and not be like, holy shit, you should watch this because it's so horrible. Like Wild West was like, let's talk to UJ about it. And he's like, I used to love that movie when I was a kid. I was like,
oh, you should watch it again.
Have you watched it as an adult? He was like, no, but you should watch it. You should watch it as an adult. Yeah, because holy hell.
But yeah, I think we can probably call. Yeah, it's kind of strangely a shorter one for us. Yeah, as well for a movie review.
TJ's nice. Thumbs up. Yeah, sure.
Half thumb.
Half thumb.
A thumb in the middle.
Well, it's two of us, so a thumb and a half. Or are we gonna count all thumbs? So 3 thumbs.
2.5 thumbs.
2 thumbs. 2.5. Well, two and a half thumbs. Okay.
I have one thumb down and then one in the middle.
Okay, then. So then
I got 0.5. Okay. I got 0.5.
So I gave it a thumbs up and a half a thumb. So yeah, 2 and a. Right? Is that how that works? Did we do that right? No, that's just 2 thumbs. Because you said no thumb. Well, thumb down.
This is the most basic math of literally just like 1, 1.5, and 0.5 equals 2. 2 out of 4 thumbs.
Hold them up.
2 out of 4 thumbs. 2 out of 4 thumbs. That was so much fun. Watching you struggle with that was so. I was like, "Are you serious?"
I'm sorry, I don't quantify in thumbs usually. It's not my go-to math method.
All right. What are we doing next week? Do we know?
No.
Is it going to be a surprise?
We'll figure it out after.
No, we got to figure it out. Okay. We don't know what we're doing. We've lost track of our life. We don't know where the journey ends anymore. Where did the journey begin?
But yeah, I mean, until we'll
let you know. With nothing around.
Have a good Friday. I'll get him out
in
of
the
here
Wild Wild West.
A complete nutter.
My name is Joe Gloder.
This is have a good weekend. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.